Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to share with you a little bit of my sketching process. You can see the subjects which I'm painting in the top left corner, and I can tell you the story behind these subjects. Every other week we meet with my artist friends, and each time one of us brings some subjects to draw. It is a surprise for everyone else. And since it's magnolia season and it was my turn to bring some subjects, I decided to cut magnolias in the neighborhood, and I need to find some other objects which will go well with magnolias. I have lots of different musical instruments at home, so I took the smallest one, ukulele, and also I decided that some musical notes should go well with this. I only had a book with very white pages, so I decided to tint them a little bit with a black tea, and they got very nice texture. So now I had magnolias, ukulele, notes, and I also found an old looking frame, printed photo of my great grandma, and put it into this frame. I also collect empty bottles of different wines and other beverages. So I took empty bottle of wine with me and nice looking glass. I think all my subjects can go well together, and separately we can make different compositions. So I just put them on the table so everyone could choose whatever she wants to draw. And when I started sketching, I had something in front of me, but I actually didn't plan what I will start with, what will be my composition. So I just decided to go with the flow, and I started sketching with magnolias because I was waiting the whole year. Every year when season I like to draw them, and this year I think it was my first time. I started with magnolias, placed them as the main subject on my spread, and then started to build composition by adding more details. So I added frame, papers with notes, and later you'll see that in between the magnolias I added a bottle of wine in the glass. There is a story behind this photo as well. As I mentioned, it's my great grandmother, and the photo was taken in 1950s. My mother recently discovered that in our family we have the full suitcase of old letters. This is her grandmother. She had communication with her husband for almost 3 decades because he was working far from home, and they always kept the correspondence between them. So it was very interesting reading, and my mom shared with me those letters and all those old photos. Some of the photos we have in our family are even more than a century old. So it is very interesting to discover the story of our ancestors. Now I want to tell you a little bit about the process. As you can see, I sometimes start with watercolor directly and then add details with a pencil. It's not just the regular pencil which I use, it's the Inktense by Derwent. It's ink pencil. It is water soluble, and it makes very solid and dark line. I have 2 colors which I like. One of them is dark chocolate and another one is the mustard. When I need more bright line. But most often I use this dark chocolate line. Sometimes I make a light sketch with a pencil, but it's not my main instrument. I barely take it with me when I go on location. I prefer to work with a line which cannot be erased, like a fine liner or ink pen, because I don't erase it anyway. So I don't see why I should use a pencil, only if I'm not sure that I'm going to keep this object on my page. So then I can add details with the pencil and then decide if I want to keep it or erase it. So as I mentioned, I sometimes start with watercolor, sometimes I start with a line and then add watercolor, but I feel comfortable in both ways. I prefer to work with very big brushes, even on the small format, because I can always add details with a pencil or with a ink pen. On this sketch I really enjoyed drawing the notes. It's one of my favorite things to draw because I like drawing old paper, and also notes always add some interesting details to the sketch. The whole process took me about an hour and a half, but I wasn't painting all the time. Also had some tea, conversation with my friends. It was very relaxed painting session where you not just sit and draw without interruptions, but more like having a very fun time with the friends. I also took a few pictures of the objects which we had there, but I don't think I would really draw it at home because I prefer working from the observation. I think it's more fun and interesting when you can change the order of the subjects, when you just get the inspiration, and you can always move your objects on paper as you like. And when you work with photo, you need to prevent yourself from being too photorealistic, because sketching for me is more about expressing what do I feel at that moment and not copying the life in details as it is. So it's more about atmosphere and the mood which I had that time. My sketchbooks are my diaries, which I use to refresh some memories. It was a very fun experience for me. It was a very memorable day and drawing session with my friends. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this format, please leave me the comment below. I would really appreciate your feedback. And also, if you like to see more videos like that, I would love to hear from you. Thank you and see you again soon. Bye.